Most guys over 45 don't have a shoe problem. They have a wrong shoe problem. Here's what that looks like. You walk out the door, shirt fits well, jeans are clean, watch is on. Everything feels right, but something about the whole picture is slightly off, and you can't land on why. The people with you won't say anything. They'll just feel it. 9 times out of 10, it's the shoes. This video is for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who want to look sharp in their everyday life. Not flashy, not overdressed, just genuinely put together. I'm going to walk through the 5 most common shoe mistakes I see in this age group. And for every single one, I'll give you the practical fix. Let's go. Why shoes define how sharp a man over 45 looks. Here's the one thing I want you to hold on to through this whole video. Shoes anchor the outfit. Your shirt can fit perfectly. Your jeans can be the right wash, the right cut, but the wrong shoes under all of that, and the entire thing loses its impact. Not a little, all of it. That's how much weight this one detail carries. After 45, you're not dressing to chase a trend. You're dressing to look like a man who has his act together, comfortable in his own skin, knows what works for him, and shoes are where that either comes through or quietly falls apart. Here's where it goes wrong, starting with the one that costs men the most. Mistake #1. Shoes that are too shiny, too flashy. Picture this: mirror-polished leather, oversized metal buckle, exaggerated pointed toe. You've probably seen it. Maybe you own a pair. That shoe is working too hard, and it shows. When a shoe is that loud, it signals effort in the wrong direction. It doesn't read as dressed up. It reads as trying to impress, which is a different thing entirely. On top of that, those shoes don't match how most men over 45 actually dress. Polo, dark jeans, chinos, a casual jacket. Those pieces are clean and understated. A flashy shoe doesn't complete that picture. It fights it. What actually works is matte or lightly burnished leather. Penny loafers, plain-toe derbies, suede loafers, clean leather boots. Refined, not loud. If there's any hardware, keep it small. Keep it flat. The goal isn't a shoe that gets noticed on its own. It's a shoe that makes everything above it look better. That's a different standard, and once you understand it, you can't unsee it. If that landed for you, go ahead and hit like. It helps other guys in their 40s and 50s find this content. Appreciate it. That one's about excess. The next mistake is the same problem in a different form. And right now, it's everywhere. Mistake #2. Chunky, heavy soles and bulky silhouettes. I get why this one's everywhere. The chunky sneaker has been all over stores and social media for years. And for certain builds, in certain contexts, it works. But for most men over 45, it doesn't. Here's why. A thick-soled, wide-toed shoe makes you look shorter and heavier than you actually are. Put that under clean dark jeans or tailored chinos, and you lose the streamlined look you'd otherwise have. The shoe is pulling the whole outfit in the wrong direction. Or 50s leans into that silhouette, it can come across as chasing something, rather than owning who he is, which ironically works against him. Because the whole point at this stage is to look like a man who's settled into his style, not someone still figuring it out. The fix: go cleaner and lower. Slim leather sneakers, loafers, boots with a modest sole. Shoes that feel grounded without looking heavy. The shoe should feel like part of the outfit, not the main thing you notice. Here's where most guys think they're safe. They're not. Mistake #3. Cheap materials or faux leather. Take a look at the pair of shoes you wear most often. Really look at them. Run your thumb across the upper. Look at the stitching along the sole. What do you actually see? If the surface catches light in a plastic-looking way, if the stitching isn't consistent, if there's a glue line along the welt starting to lift, that's low-quality material, and it's costing you more than you realize. Here's the thing about men at this stage of life. People around you have spent enough time in the world to read quality without being able to name it. You could have a great-fitting shirt, clean jeans, a solid watch, and one pair of cheap shoes quietly drops the whole look a level. The outfit just doesn't land. Something feels off. Nobody says it out loud, but they feel it. Good leather also ages in your favor. It develops character, holds its shape, takes a polish. A synthetic shoe just deteriorates, cracking and peeling faster than you'd expect. That's a bad return on what you spent. The answer is simple. Fewer pairs, better quality. 3 well-made shoes will do more for your wardrobe than 8 mediocre ones. Look for genuine leather with real texture, consistent stitching, a sole that feels solid underfoot. Those details are the difference. Quick question. What's the one pair of shoes you reach for most on an average week? Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what men in this space are actually wearing day to day. Now, you've got the right material, right silhouette, but you might still be getting the color wrong. And it's one of those things nobody tells you directly. Mistake #4, colors that are too bold or too loud. Color isn't just personal preference. In men's style, color is a signal. And the wrong signal at the wrong time pulls focus away from the whole outfit, not toward it. Bright red, electric blue, stark white with heavy contrast stitching. These turn the shoe into the loudest element you're wearing. The shoe becomes the thing people notice first, and everything else you've put together fades into the background. That's the opposite of what you want. At 45 and beyond, bold shoe colors don't read the same way they did in your 20s. Back then, that energy made sense. Experimental, expressive. Now, it can read as out of step with who you actually are. The everyday wardrobe most men in this group work with, dark indigo jeans, chinos, neutral shirts, a sport coat, needs a shoe that belongs there quietly, not one asking for its own moment. The palette that works is straightforward. Dark brown and espresso leather with nearly everything. Cognac and tan for khakis, lighter chinos, medium wash denim. Black for charcoal, navy, darker outfits. Chocolate or navy suede, underrated, genuinely refined. White or off-white leather on weekends, kept clean, kept simple. When you're not sure, dark brown. It goes with more of a man's real wardrobe than almost anything else. Last one. And this is the most situational mistake on the list, which means it's also the easiest to get wrong without noticing. Mistake #5, wearing the wrong shoe for the occasion. No shoe works in every situation. That's not a limitation. That's just how it works. And a great shoe in the wrong context looks worse than a simple, appropriate shoe in exactly the right one. This goes in both directions. Too casual and too stiff. 3 situations, real ones. Here's what actually works in each. Weekend errands, a family lunch, a casual afternoon out. This is where old running shoes come back out. Nothing wrong with wanting comfort, but a clean leather sneaker with a slim profile, a brown loafer, or a chukka boot gives you the same ease with a lot more intention behind it. You still look like you got dressed on purpose. Casual Friday or a low-key client meeting. Athletic silhouettes fall flat here. A plain-toe derby in brown leather, a clean loafer, or a Chelsea boot bridges work and everyday life without any effort. Smart casual footwear that fits both worlds without overthinking it. An evening out, dinner, a date, somewhere a step up from casual. Men sometimes overcorrect here, reaching for something too shiny or too formal. A bit loafer, a matte leather derby, or a Chelsea boot in dark suede hits the right note. Elevated, not stiff. Fits the moment without announcing itself. A well-chosen shoe in the right context will always outperform an expensive shoe in the wrong one. That's really what dressing well at this age is, knowing what belongs where. If this has been worth your time, subscribing is the best way to keep up. Next video, I'm getting into the specific shoes worth owning at every price point, built around real everyday life for men over 45. That one's coming up soon. 5 mistakes, 5 fixes. Before I wrap, here's the practical part. What to actually own. Bonus. 3 pairs that cover almost everything for men 45 plus. Most men think the solution is more shoes. It isn't. The real problem is usually that the pairs they already own aren't right for the life they're actually living. So before you add anything to your closet, here's a smarter starting point. 3 pairs. That's it. These 3 cover nearly everything. 1. A dark brown leather loafer. Penny loafer or bit loafer, matte finish. This is the most versatile shoe a man over 45 can own. Dark jeans, chinos, polo, button down. Weekends, casual work days, dinner. If you're starting from scratch, this is pair 1. 2. A minimalist leather sneaker in white or light gray, low profile, clean upper, no heavy branding. This is your casual daily shoe. Coffee, errands, a Saturday out. Easy to wear. Just keep it clean. The moment it starts looking worn down, the whole effect disappears. 3. A Chelsea boot or plain-toe derby in brown or black. This is the pair that steps up. Evenings out, more formal days, fall and winter layering. A Chelsea boot in dark suede handles this especially well. 3 pairs, 1 strong foundation, most situations covered. Before I let you go, here's a habit worth building. 10 seconds every time you're about to head out the door. Look down and run through 5 things. Are the shoes clean? Does the material look like quality, or is it just trying to pass? Is the silhouette proportionate to the rest of the outfit? Does the color belong here? Is this the right shoe for where I'm actually going? 10 seconds. That checklist, done consistently, will do more for your everyday style than most things you could buy. Here's what this all comes down to. Dressing well after 45 isn't about having more. It's about having the right things and knowing exactly how to use them. Fix these 5 mistakes, and your everyday look gets noticeably cleaner and more confident. Not because you changed everything, but because you stopped working against yourself. Got a specific style situation you want me to dig into? An occasion, a wardrobe question, something you've been unsure about? Leave it in the comments. That's genuinely how I decide what to cover next. See you in the next one.